let's talk a little bit about adverbs as well as review some of the other things we've been learning about. But the main thing today is going to be adverbs, as it can be a difficult part of speech to master. An adverb is a word that usually describes a verb. Just like adjectives describe nouns, adverbs describe verbs. So you have to know what the verb is first, then find the adverb. So find the verb, subject, then find an adverb if there is an adverb. And the questions you're going to ask are where, when, how, and how often. So for example, Oscar playfully told a joke to his brother. All right, let's first find the verb. Always find the verb first. Oscar playfully told. What did he do? Told, right? He told. Who told? Oscar told. So Oscar is the subject. Told is the verb. We always divide our predicate part of the sentence from our subject. Told a joke to his brother. Now we're going to review something else here while we're at it. What did he told? He told what? Ask the word what after the verb to find out if there is a direct object. Because what kind of verb is it? It's an action verb. I'm going to write action verb. And again, when it says mark the sentence pattern, that's where we put above it what it is. So above the verb, always put what kind of verb? A, B for action verb. Put S above the subject for subject, action verb. So Oscar told what? Joke. The answer to our question what after an action verb will be the direct object. So joke is our direct object. I'm going to put DO for direct object. So that's our sentence pattern. Subject, action verb, direct object. That's our sentence pattern for this sentence. Now let's look and see if there are any adjectives or adverbs. Look at the word told. It's the verb. Is there a word that tells where or when or how often we told or he told? Yes. How did Oscar tell it? He playfully told. How do you tell? Playfully told. Sometimes I'll draw the arrow below if it seems like I don't have a lot of room above. So in this case I did it above. Sometimes we'll draw the arrow above, sometimes below. And so there we have it. Oscar playfully told a joke to his brother. Now we haven't gotten into the prepositions much, so if you see a preposition or prepositional phrase, none of the things we're looking for will be there. Okay, look at the next sentence. Yesterday, the marching band practiced. Yesterday, the marching band practiced. Or should it be practiced? If it's in the past, maybe I'll just change that one to practiced. Yesterday, the marching band practiced. Let me get a little more room here. Yesterday, the marching band practiced. What is the verb? Always find the verb first. So, practiced. Practiced is the verb. And ask, who or what practiced? The marching band. Now, the actual word that is the subject is band. Band practiced. I'm going to draw a vertical line between the verb and subject. Okay? Now let's find our modifiers. Okay? We can look at the noun. If this is a subject and this is a verb, what kind of verb? Action verb. Okay. Look at the subject. It's a noun. The subject is a noun. So look in front of it. Is there an adjective? What kind of band? Marching band. And we can draw an arrow from marching to band. That's an adjective. Is there an adverb describing or modifying practice? Let's look. Yesterday the marching band practiced. Is there a word that tells where, when, how, or how often? Yes. The word yesterday. Look at the word yesterday. The word yesterday tells when the marching band practiced. So the marching band practice, I'm going to draw an arrow from yesterday to practiced, telling when the marching band practiced. And there you have it. Okay? Here's another sentence. We rehearse together weekly. What is the verb? What is a doing verb or a word of something we can do or on our list? Rehearse. That's something we can do. So rehearse is the verb. Who or what rehearse? That's how we find the subject. We always ask who or what about the verb. Who or what rehearse? We rehearse. So again, we have the verb and subject of our sentence, vertical line separating them, and whenever it says mark the sentence, that's what it means. Underline the verb twice, underline the subject once, vertical line between them. We rehearse together weekly. All right, are there any nouns here or pronouns? Yeah, but is there a word that describes it? No. And so, are there any adjectives? Is there a word that tells where, when, how, or how often we rehearse? It has something to do with the verb. When we find an adverb, we find the verb, we look at the verb, and we ask where, when, how, or how often about that verb. Where we rehearse, or when we rehearse, or how often we rehearse. Oh, we rehearse weekly. How often is the question that answers, or that is the question that weekly answers. Weekly. We answer how often? Weekly. So this word weekly is actually the adverb telling how often that we rehearse. We rehearse weekly. So we'll draw an arrow from weekly to the adverb that it is modifying or describing. And I think we'll end it there so that this video isn't too long. But again, some things we've been learning in our language class. And the sentence pattern for this last one would simply be, here's a subject and here's an action verb. I might make another one later that goes into more of the direct objects, predicate nominatives, and predicate adjectives. But we did have one direct object in these. Hope this helped you today. Hope it can help you learn about finding these different parts of speech, as well as modifiers and sentence patterns. All right. You do well, and I hope to give you another video soon.